good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Just saying hello and hoping that you have a lovely day wherever you are. And always remember that nobody knows what anyone's truly going through in their life, and remember always, if someone said something about you or they've had a problem, they've had to seek, because I know this from myself, help to talk about things because they don't feel they can talk, or they're not, or they could make more problems by actually speaking about it, by not thinking of the right words to somebody, speaking to somebody else about something to help a situation. It's not, sometimes things are not a bad thing, and it's not, sometimes it could be worse if that person spoke to you and they can't come out with the correct dialogue or words, or they could make it 10 times worse. Sometimes we just don't know what other people are going through. And I know myself, like, there are people out there that don't even know us, and there's people out there that think they know us, or people out there that think we look like someone that they know us, and it's not. I know that because I've had that happen to me. I've had people think I'm someone else I'm not, to the point where I walked in with my sister and my mother, and the girl upset me so much by thinking I was some other girl, and even saying to the point that she even used that, oh, we were pregnant at the same time, and I've got no children, and so that wasn't true. And because I thought, maybe does she think it's my sister who looks like me? But no. And I've had this happen before. And I had one time someone who had tattoos all over their face say, oh, I know you, and they called me a different name. I don't even know what the name was. And they said, oh, we dated. And I said, I think I would know if we dated, and I'd never date someone. I'm not into people, I'm not putting down people, but I'm not into people who are drugs or drink and alcohol, or I'm not being rude, but don't work or don't want to better themselves, or people with tattoos on themselves. I was not being nasty, but I just saying to the point of what was happening. And this guy kept saying he thought I was someone else and that we dated, and he came right up to my face. Yes, Mellow's here. Came right up to my face, like really close, and said, yeah, we dated. And I said, I think I would know. And I said, besides that, I'm 53 years old. I don't think I'd be dating somebody your age, ever. And I would never date someone I'm just not into that type of people. So always, and I've had so many problems with this situation of some girl, and I know that it's true, because I know that. And I know that I've even had a flatmate when I was younger, working at the casino, who even said, I saw the girl who looks like you, truly. And my sister, my own sister, had even seen this person and said, she looks so much like you, Becky, except for when you get close and you realize how short you actually are compared to her, who's taller, and my sister's tall. And all this has been breaking me apart, and it upset me so much. It really has upset me so much. But you know who you are in life, and if people choose, like I even found the picture of the girl, and I sent the picture and had it analysed, and had it artificially analysed for why people would even think there's similarities. And I had 1, 2, 3 different elements of checking everything. The pointation, you have points on your face and everything like that, and body shape, and but just going along. Sorry, I've got hay fever and sinus all the time. It's created such a drama for me. Now I've from look, sometimes things happen for a reason, but yes, I had it checked, and artificially, intelligently checked, and quite clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, it wasn't me, which I knew it wasn't me, but I just wanted to get checked to see, why do these people think that? And sadly, the person is, they look, please don't think I'm a horrible person for saying this, but the person looks quite a little trashy, and they don't care about themselves, and has tattoo, and I don't have tattoo. I always try to dress beautiful. I don't have any makeup on now at all, nothing on. But it's been severely upsetting me and breaking me, because I live in such a small little town, and these people, I had to stand up for myself and fight for my truth about things, and no one should have to do that. It's shocking. And even Guy, my ex-boyfriend, said to me, he said, he started laughing actually, and so did my neighbour. She started laughing as well, and both of them did, and so did my sister. They all thought it was funny, and both asking this, showing them the picture of this girl, because I got a picture, and said, why do people think this is me? Why would they even believe these things? And these are people that have known me, for my sister, all my life, my ex-boyfriend, for since I was 26. We've been friends. We dated and then been friends for many, many years. Beautiful man. And my neighbour, we've known each other since we've we live near each other, obviously. And she said, I don't understand them. And I studied psychology, I studied law, and I studied sociology. And what I have to say is, this is true. I try to always think lovely things about people, but when people, and I'm hearing things being said, and the horrible things, or like someone's thinking something and I'm hearing from somebody else, or actually catching somebody hearing what they say, because sometimes I listen into conversations, and I used to be undercover security. I used to be really good at it, so I learned how to listen in to things without people actually knowing that you're there, or that you're actually doing that. And that's a little rude, I shouldn't do that, but sometimes you find things out from that. But I've got to look at things positively, and from all of this I've become so much stronger. It's made me stronger as a person, not weaker. It's made me stronger. At first it made me really weak, very, very emotionally upsetting. And my sister and my mother and my ex-boyfriend and my neighbour keep saying, stop thinking about it all the time. You know it's not you. I had like that artificial intelligence and all the dot points and everything, and can prove that it's not you. But it's just, as a person, and I know I always say, try to be kind and caring, and if someone doesn't have a smile, give them one of yours. Sometimes if I ever have to say something to somebody else, or feel like I have to report something or something like that, that's not something that you do. People don't report things or don't talk to other agencies or other people about things just because they want to cause problems or trouble for themselves, because they know that this, whatever they say about certain situations, wherever you are, schooling, working, gyms, supermarkets, wherever you are, dances or what have you, whenever you have to critique anybody or anything from certain situations or things that have happened, even if they're a really lovely person, I always say, like, they're a lovely person. This is not their normal behaviour. This is not their normal behaviour. They're beautiful people. They don't talk or think or act like this normally. I don't like doing that, but sometimes if you don't feel comfortable, it doesn't mean because you don't speak to certain people that would expect you to speak to them. It doesn't mean that it's because you're thinking you're wanting, or that they might think in their mind, are they wanting to show problems in an area, or there's problems around No one wants to create problems or division. No one wants to have to talk about things in life and say this is going on and it's really horrible, and it's really hard to say things, and most people don't want to stand up for themselves. I learned from being a child, autistic and different, and being very good at ice skating, as in the trials for the Winter Olympics when I was very young, and on the front page of the paper and different things. And some people don't even think they're bullying people, and they do. And I don't want to create division or arguments or hurt people or have to say, you know, I heard this or I heard that, or, you know, it makes, like, you feel crazy for saying stuff, because most people keep things to themselves. No one wants to create problems or dramas for everybody or anybody. But I have to, looking at things positively, that picture of that girl and how people, because I still get people who come up and say things to me, or weird sort of odd guys walk past me and stuff, but that's what I've just got to say. So I had this happen with this, let's say it's the same girl, and her boyfriend must have had shaved head, and my flatmate that I had when I was working at the casino said, I saw you, the girl that looks like you, out. And until my sister said, no, Rebecca, it really is real, she does really look like you, I truly didn't believe in it until just a few years ago, when someone thought this picture of this girl was me. I thought, this is insanity. And I thought, these people there has to be something really wrong in their heads to be thinking this. Because I know who I am. I know I have a beautiful reputation. I'm a good person. I've never done anything wrong in my life, and I'm a good person, and I know that. And I fight for that, because I am. And I don't do bad things. I'm not a bad person. I always try to be kind and loving. And even talking about that girl, that's somebody else's energy when I'm talking about her, and I have to not think bad things. But she used to, people would come into me at the work at Rest Point when I worked there, and say that they'd seen me. This was crazy, and I used to work the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday shifts, because I used to do VIP and looked after a whole lot of important people that would come in and everything. And these people would say, yes, no, I really saw you. And later I found out that they really did see me, not me, somebody else. And she was working at the men's gallery, stripping and dancing. Not that I have anything against people that do things like that, and I don't. It's just not something that I've done or do and wouldn't do. Nothing against other people. I have a friend who, she's a teacher of like pole dancing, and she's an amazing girl, so beautiful. She looks like Snow White. She's lovely. She has little baby and husband, and she's a lovely girl. But when this person was she was working at a men's gallery, that's the type of person, and that's why when people talk to me, especially guys, and they had like tattoos on their faces, and it's a little scary, because I was walking somewhere the other day, and I had a similar thing happen with someone coming up, and it's really is a little scary. I guess the whole thing about that, really, I've got to look at the positive side of things, is that it has made me a stronger person. And I know I'm different, I know I'm strange, but I'm a good person, and this person's not a good person. I don't mean that just by her doing stripping. She's not a good person. I've seen pictures where she's not a good person, and I don't think we look anything like each other. But yeah, just it's made me stronger as a person, but it's so been emotional roller coaster. Like, I know who I am. I'm a good person. I just don't. I believe in God and faith and things like that, but I think sometimes odd situations happen to strengthen us. And if those people, sometimes in life, I really believe this, people choose to want to believe something bad about people, especially when they get in groups together and they'll want to critique or laugh at behind someone's back or put them down, and they continue to do that, or in groups or different things. That's not fair and it's not right. And I know what I was saying about that person, it's not right also, but it just makes you see what people really think in their mind. And I was watching something, I like to watch a lot of programs that are interesting and read things about sociological, legal and forensic facts as well. I studied at university, and when there's like, I was listening to this amazing lady who worked for, it was an American company, and she was federal police, or not federal police, whatever it's called, and she was looking at people who people who have seen things happen and they wanted witnesses to certain police events. 90 out of 100% of the people, 97% of the witnesses witnessed the wrong person. 97% of the people who were witnesses witnessed the wrong person. 3% of the witnesses, and most of those people that don't come forward, or come forward later because they're scared, or say things and people don't necessarily speak to them or want to know or understand things until later, and then when they prove things or they hear things later on, or if at first they do, they don't always want to hear about. But about 3% of people actually witness the right person. So yeah, I mean, I've just find those things interesting, but it's interesting in itself, situations and why they happen. But it's sad when people tell themselves something so much that they think that it's true when it's actually not, that they believe because someone else has said, yes, it is that person. But when you know, I know myself, I've seen things, we've all seen things, everyone's mostly seen things. And I think people, when they end up with a post-traumatic stress disorder, they keep remembering incidences over and over again, and sometimes more accurate to give a better confirmation than people who don't. Sometimes things just happen and things occur. But I do hope everyone's feeling well today, and I'm so sorry I didn't post anything Friday. I will try and post maybe tomorrow. I've got a really bad headache today. But I just want to send everyone love and kindness and joy, and for people to realize that be kind to each other, try not to judge, badly about people. I know I've just said things about someone because they look like me, and things like she has a tattoo, and that's really bad of me, isn't it? It shows. Sorry, I shouldn't have said those things, but it's just, I think if it was happening to maybe somebody else, they would realize like it is upsetting, but it's made me a stronger person in the long run, and for me to fight for myself with strength rather than emotion, which just weakens us as a person. Have a lovely day, and I probably shouldn't have done that reading about Elon Musk, by the way, because I kept dreaming about him and his father every night for the last 4 nights, and I don't know why. But I'll do a little reading tomorrow, and I hope that everyone is okay and well, and I'm sorry I'm a real person talks about my stuff. I probably shouldn't. This is probably why I don't have many followers, because I'm just weird and different. But you know, I always try to be a good person, do the right thing, be kind and loving. And even if I have to say something about somebody, I always think, should I say something, should I not say something? And if I've said it, I always try and say like, but they're a lovely person, and try not to just go in with negative stuff. But sometimes, remember, with people have to conversate or talk about a situation or a person, and you think maybe they're talking about you, or they haven't come to you, that they might be representing something as not good or positive. Sometimes we don't always go to people because sometimes we need strength in other areas, and people who are on a more impartial area are sometimes easier than people that we know who can be more emotionally stable, but also can unstable us with emotions of being intricate with talking and things. Have a lovely day. God bless. And if you see somebody today without a smile, give them one of yours, and try and always be kind to people and caring and loving. And no one's perfect in this world. We all make mistakes. We all, all trip or fall down somehow. No one's perfect. We learn from mistakes, and we learn from situations, or we get strength from things that happen that would normally emotionally upset us. Sometimes the world is not always what we think. We have to try and make it a little bit better in our lives and stronger in ourselves, and be kind to each other at all times. From my heart, sending you love and kindness, and have a lovely day. God bless.